And while we're closing out the day, I really do want to take this time to talk about some last few details around the eclipse and the energy that it came with. So, as we know, the eclipse occurred at Leo, 20 degrees or 20 degrees Leo. And the thing with degree theory, they all have this philosophy behind it. Like it literally translates to an essence, or in other words, it'll translate to a symbol. And one of the symbols for 20 degrees Leo are Zuni sun worshippers. Many of you may not ever heard that before, but I'm pretty sure you've heard of the saying where energy goes, energy flows. That is from the Zuni law. And what makes it even more interesting is because that was the energy of the eclipse, and eclipses are all about not manifesting. It's about being. It's about giving your attention to the things that really matter and just trusting that things are going to work out for you, because eclipses are all about fated events, fated occurrences. But anyway, some other things that came up with this energy is lessons around learning to trust yourself. This energy is all about fidelity, being devoted and loyal, especially to the things that maintain your integrity to yourself and your journey. Like this one quote around Stephen Hawking that came up that really relates to this type of energy. There's no boundaries to human endeavors, no matter how bad life may seem. As long as there's life, there's hope. I believe that's how it goes. So long story short, it just basically goes on to say, as long as you are alive, there's never an end. You always get a chance to do something different. And because of that, there's always hope. And speaking of hope, another thing that came up with this energy are lessons around doing what you said that you were going to do. Such as there's a difference between knowing the path and actually walking the path, which really speaks to having courage. It's one thing to talk about it, but it's another thing to be about it. And with this degree here, it really speaks to the lessons around holding your integrity true to that. You can't just be talking about it, you truly got to be about it. That's what it means to maintain your integrity around yourself. And some other themes that also came up was around sacredness and why it's so important to never deny yourself of that. So with that being said, to deny others the liberty and the freedom to be able to worship higher forces and natural forces in their own accord, that is almost like a form of like a cardinal sin. Like it's one thing to have sins within a culture or a religion, but to have like a cardinal sin against nature and the natural forces of life, that is what this energy also speaks to. Hence the symbolism around the Zuni sun worshippers. It really speaks to early origins around worshiping and early forms of religion. And early forms of religion, as you know, people did worship like the skies and the stars and natural elements within nature, so even the sun. So it's so interesting because we're in a time where it's nothing but social constructs, but the social construct was really created to harvest our loyalties, to harvest our energy. Social construct was really created to ritualize our loyalties, harvest the energy that we pour in to our loyalties and the things that we ritualize. Because wherever energy goes, energy flows. The energy that is flowing through the system is a result of us pouring into it. We sustain the system. So because of that, we all have this inherent need to be able to be a part of something greater, and also have this yearning to worship and honor forces beyond ourselves and higher forces. But at the core of this, how we can all maintain our sense of like integrity is to be true to ourselves and choose what allows us to honor that in the greatest good and what is most aligned with us and ourselves. And it's so interesting because I'm going to take it a step further, and I'm probably going to have to cut it here because I don't want this to get too long. But it's so interesting because for that to be the energy of today and what's going viral currently is that one video around one New Age thinker versus 20 Christians. And literally the energy of this degree really speaks to not denying people the ability to worship natural or higher forces in their own way. And literally we are in a time where we're watching people have debates around that. We have people arguing or debating around, hey, you should not be worshiping and honoring things in that way. The reality is that is not the way. Everyone needs to choose a way that best serves them. And to deny people of that is the problem. So, anyway, that's my spiel. What is coming up for you guys? Does anyone have this placement? Um, yeah, there's so much coming up here. And if someone had 20 degrees, wherever that is in your birth chart, that was definitely activated. That is a crucial lesson for you as well. In the grand scheme of things, this is a lesson that the entire collective is going through. So I just wanted to share my thoughts around that and some of the energy that was coming up in regards to that I've also been able to observe amongst the people. So yeah, let me know, comment below.